I've always been interested in guns. I mean, I can't remember back far enough when I didn't have an interest in guns. Back in 1977, the company started in the back 10 by 20 foot of my dad's jewelry store, which is located on the town square in Berryville, Arkansas. For anybody that's not been there, Berryville, Arkansas, was an extremely small town back when Wilson Combat started 45 years ago, and it's still no huge city.
When I met Bill, his business was still located at the shop on the city square in downtown Berryville, Arkansas. Bill's vision and his goals have always been to make the next step it takes to build a better product to be more successful.
I'm often asked, how did you get into the gun business? That really stems from my interest in competition shooting back in the 70s. Like every other competitor, we think if we had better gear, we'd be better shooters. Sent a gun off to a big name gun builder on the East Coast, got it back. Wasn't overly happy with what I got back. So I said, well, if I can work on watches and make clock parts and make jewelry, surely I can work on the big parts of a 1911 handgun. Built myself a gun, won a few matches with it. Buddy says, build me a gun. Next thing you know, decision time. Okay, either I can, not enjoy life and go in and work on watches and clocks and jewelry every day and not make any money, or I can work on guns and not make any money. That was kind of the choice at the time.
First met Bill Wilson about 1978. I think it was like the Midwest IPSC Championships, and we hit it off right away. I think he was kind of like me. We both shared a common interest, and we became friends pretty quickly, and we've remained that way for nearly 45 years. Naturally, like any business and a successful business, they change. They have to. He has a natural, innate ability to kind of spot openings in the marketplace, niche that need to be filled.
We build quality product, we stand behind the product, we treat the customers the way we want to be treated, and we do our very best to satisfy every single customer, no matter what the situation is. Those are all values really that my mother and dad instilled, and my grandfather and grandmother instilled in me, because they were all very customer oriented. They always wanted to make sure that they gave their customer the good service that they deserved. When I first started working on 1911s, the main focus was reliability. Obviously, we wanted to put good sights on the guns, get a good trigger pull, do things like bevel the mag well, and put an extended safety to make the pistol easier to handle, but the primary focus was always on reliability.
He's not a guy that says, I don't think I can do that. He puts his mind to it, it gets done.
45 years is quite a long time. Our new products team and marketing got together on this 45th anniversary project, and we decided to go retro. And maybe a lot of our customers don't even realize what guns were like in the late 70s. So the goal was to build a modern gun that represents what a premium gun would have been in the late 70s.
Back in the day when we got started in this would have been a dream gun, in that it's got all the features and all the details that we all thought was perfect. If you said, I want the perfect, successful 1911 for combat shooting, this would have been it.
What we aspired to do was to duplicate a lot of the things that we did in the late 70s, early 80s. And one of them was the upswept beaver tail, which was pioneered by a company called MS Safari Arms. Obviously not available anymore. That company's been out of business for years. So we had to reverse engineer an MS Safari beaver tail and fully machine it out of bar stock, just like we do all of our bulletproof parts.
As time went on, everybody decided the grip safety needed to be swept up higher so that you can get your hand higher on the gun. And by today's standard, nobody would want this because they'd say, well, it's too low. Well, I think it looks cool, and I kind of like those days.
Of course, back then, the only Commander hammer that was available was a factory Colt Commander hammer. So we duplicated the factory original Colt Commander hammer. On our premium guns back then, the sight we always put on them was a Bomar. So we basically recreated the Bomar rear sight.
We've all become used to the look of the dovetail front sight, but back in the day, they were either silver soldered or staked on. So in many ways, it's a cleaner look. I like the appearance.
Got our signature 3-hole trigger in it.
You know, the retro-wise, back in the day, you had to have a 3-hole trigger, which was a Wilson trademark in the gun. Got
coarse slide top serrations on the radius of the slide, you know, like we did in the old days.
The old retro logo, the old Wilson Combat with the eagle, I still think that's a cool look on the gun.
We tried to recreate the Armand Swenson ambi safety as accurately as we could. One of the reasons we did that, besides the fact that that's what we put on guns back in the late 70s and early 80s, was my friendship with Armand Swenson. I was fortunate enough to be able to go visit him at his home a couple of times. He was very good to me as far as sharing knowledge and things like that. He was a super prince of a guy, was kind of one of my early mentors. You know, I can't say enough good about the way Armand helped me in the early years, and also Jim Clark Sr., you know, from Clark Custom Guns down in Louisiana. Well, obviously, if we're going to do a 45th anniversary collector grade gun, you know, it needs to look really nice. And so we've done a deluxe polished blue on the gun, and we got the desert ironwood grips, which are, I think, extremely attractive.
This gun appeals to me. It is what I associate a 1911 with.
The solid blue gun here will be limited to a production number of 450 guns. And the Supergrade version, the two-tone version, there'll only be 45 guns produced. It's a very limited production run. The two-tone gun here is built by the Supergrade cell. We chose master engraver Wayne D'Angelo to do the hand engraving on it. At one time, he was the master engraver at Smith & Wesson.
To a large degree, the old two-tone thing, I'm still a pushover for two-tone chrome and blue 1911. To me, that epitomizes the good old days.
You know, late 70s, early 80s along in there. I mean, the gun to have was always a two-tone, you know, blue top end, hard chrome frame. And so when we worked out the specs on the Supergrade version of it, you know, we realized it had to be a two-tone blue hard chrome gun. Well, we could have went the easy way and just put a stainless frame on a blue top end and been done with it. But no, we wanted it to be as accurate as possible. So we actually, you know, finally found a good hard chrome. These are all carbon steel with hard chrome. It's not a stainless frame.
Finding a really good industrial hard chromer is not an easy task, and that's one of the reasons it's went away, because most gunsmiths or most manufacturers can't get hard chrome of a quality that's worthy of a custom gun.
One of the specification differences between the blue gun and the two-tone Supergrade version of it is the blue gun has a Wilson Combat match barrel in it, and we went all out for retro on the Supergrade version, and they all have hand-fit Barstow National match barrels in them, the same as we would have put in this gun if we were building it in 1977.
The Supergrade has got, I don't know where they found the premium wood, the burl effect of the wood, but the grips, for smooth grips, are incredibly attractive.
I'm often asked what makes a Supergrade different than a standard CQB cell gun, for example. Well, it's the experience of the gunsmiths. We've got 3 guys in Supergrade cell out of the 9 that have been with the company over 40 years each. And so they're, in my mind, the best of the best. And when those guys build a gun, it's the best we can build.
I like the looks, I like the touch. You know what? At this point in life, if I had one of these, I probably would carry it and shoot it, because, you know, what would I be saving it for? I'll let the next guy worry about the holster wear. The
Deluxe Supergrade version of the 45th anniversary represents 45 years in business. Only 45 guns are going to be built, and they're all 45 ACP.
I mean, sadly, this is a collector's item. This is a gun that you, as we call a coffee table gun. This is a gun that when your buddies come over, you want to set out and say, what do you think of this? Because, man, it's gorgeous. And hence, there's only going to be 45 of them, so I'm pretty confident these things won't be around for very long.
People sometimes ask me, you know, what's the secret to your success in business? And it's like any other business or anything, any endeavor you want to do, whether it's competition shooting, whether it's in business, you know, whether it's a hobby, you know, just takes determination and tenacity. I mean, you have to work hard at it. You have to be willing to take risks.
The horizon for Wilson Combat is pretty much going to be driven by wherever Bill Wilson wants to go, and I'm confident wherever he goes, he's going to do it right. You see so many guns today, one of the things they all want to do is, they want to put stuff all over the slide so it's like a cheese grater. And this other thing I see today is everybody wants to mill holes or slots or, cutaways in the guns, and oh, that looks cool, and I think it looks stupid. This thing's already got too many holes in it. It's got one in the front and one right here. That's enough room for crud to get inside. I don't want, guys say, well, it makes the slide lighter, your gun shoots flatter. Well, man up. Learn how to grip the gun.